This week, we reveal TIE fighters in the trench. So these next set of shots have a TIE fighter that show up in the background. And as you can see, each has a different rendered TIE fighter because I had to make sure the difference between the red leader and blue leader, the shadows fall differently in the background. And while that may not seem like a big deal, I just wanted to get some of these fun little details correct. So this is the Blender file where I created the background. As those of you following this series know, the live action was my niece in front of a green screen, and then I did a still output from Blender of the inside of the X-Wing, which I did with an alpha so we could see through it. And now here is the background. Now, looking at this, if you look up here at our TIE fighter, the TIE fighter's following a path. I'm going to go here because it's easier to see that path for it to follow. And you can see the curve and the motion here from my TIE fighter control. And all I did was move the camera along the center line path that I created, and then created a TIE fighter path for it to go back and forth. Now you can see the path goes back and forth. Let's see if we can see the top of this path well. The path itself, this is the camera path. And then this is the path for the TIE fighter. And you can see that the camera, there we go. You can see that the camera path is straight down the center. And you can see that the TIE fighter path goes back and forth. And then the rotation of the TIE fighter is again controlled by the TIE fighter control, just like I did for the X-Wing side shot I talked about in the last episode. And so that's it for this. Just two different TIE fighters going back and forth in the background. Very subtle, but hopefully you noticed it. Next week, we'll talk about duplicating paths to speed up your workflow. I'll see you then.